Hello everyone, hope you all are doing good. So this is the presentation which I am going to share with you is to remember some of the key points before appearing the AI-900 certification exam. So this is actually the fundamentals of artificial intelligence, which is by Microsoft Azure. Okay, so this AI-900 certification, if you are planning to appear for that, just go through uh, any course for that, or any of even the Microsoft Azure also gives uh, all the basic fundamentals knowledge video as well as a training on which is sponsored by the Microsoft. Okay, you can go there's website. I have given a link for that as well in the description, so you can go there and go through all the videos that it provides you a basic idea of what is it. Okay, and once you are gone through all the fundamentals knowledge about what this exam includes, then you can come here and see what are the key points that you need to remember before appearing for your exam, so that you can clear this exam very easily. Okay, so we'll just get started. So the skills measured for this exam, it contains some subtypes. Okay, so if you see here, there are different sections given. Okay, so each of the section is having some percentage given. So these are the percentage for your exam. So basically I have appeared for this exam and I have cleared this in a first attempt. Okay, so it was for 45 minutes real exam. Okay, real exam is for 45 minutes and with the questions of 38. Okay, so approximately you will get 1 minute to 1 point something minutes for a one question to appear. So you can go through each questions, answer them. If you want, there's some questions you are not sure, just click on it like to review later on. So you can just the clarify whatever the exams or the questions you have. You can just answer it, and review questions you can review it in the last 5 to 6 minutes. Okay, whatever the time you have, in that you can review it and then answer it. Okay, so this is what the exam structure, and you need to appear for that. So if the exam will contain a 38 question. Okay, so from that 38 questions, these are the percentage given. So if you there will be a questions regarding AI workload and consideration, about 15 to 20%. Okay, there are fundamentals principle of machine learning. Okay, so there are few concepts of that. It will contain a 30 to 35 percentage. And then there is a description of the computer vision workload. So for the computer vision thing, you need to have this 15 to 20 percentage of coverage for that exam. And then there NLP, that is natural language processing workloads, it contains a 15 to 20%. Okay, and there is a conversational AI. So conversational AI workload also contains a 15 to 20%. So maximum you see machine learning it having a lots of percentage, more percentage than other sections are having 15 to 20%, but this machine learning is having a 30 to 35%. Okay, so these are the skills measured for your exam. Okay, so the basically the questions will come from these particular sections. Okay, so we'll go through one by one and just hope you have a knowledge already for this AI, and we'll just cover up the key points. Okay, so we'll just move to the next one and then see. So here what all things are that we need to remember. Okay, so what is the AI? Machine learning, anomaly detection, computer vision, natural language processing, conversational AI, and what are the risks and challenges with the AI. Okay, so there are some risks and challenges with the AI, and because of that, there are some principles responsible AI defines. Okay, so based on this risk, you can take into consideration of what will be the principles. Okay, so you need to remember there are 6 principles of the responsible. You need to remember that as well. Okay, so we'll cover this. So we'll cover this 5 sections. Okay, this is actually the workload of AI. Okay, so AI basically contains this, artificial intelligence basically contains this 5 models. Okay, so this is a bigger picture. Okay, 5 models, and then you have to cover this responsible AI as well. Okay, and then we'll just see one by one. These are the fundamentals and all the structures. Okay, so here you will see the workload. Okay, so what is this AI workload? So if you can write, you can create this what do you say, the diagram on your any rough page. Okay, so it will be very easy for you to remember all of this. Okay, there are some sections where you might feel a very confusion, like confusion in some of the text analysis or the images. You will see there confusions in some questions. Okay, so if you make this diagram, okay, so that will definitely help you to remember all those features. Okay, so basically this AI workload has a machine learning, anomaly detection, computer vision, natural language processing, and conversational AI that we have seen in the earlier slide. These are the 5 modules that it has. Okay, so now in the machine learning, first we'll cover the machine learning. Okay, so in the machine learning we have automated machine learning, we have Azure machine learning designer, we have data and compute management, and we have the pipelines. Okay, so what is basically the machine learning? So Azure cloud machine learning is actually a cloud based predictive models by relationships of the data. Okay, so if you consider the relationship with the data with the cloud, it comes with the machine learning, Azure cloud machine learning. Okay, so that is it. And so if you see, there are different types also in the machine learning, like a regression, classification, and the clustering. You can make a note of these 3. Okay, so if you consider this automated machine learning, also here also you'll see that those types, and I have given like this regression, classification, and clustering. Okay, so the regression and classification are the supervised uh, machine learning models. Okay, and the clustering is the unsupervised. What is a supervised? Supervised is means you have some history of data, or some data is already available, and based on that you make your prediction. Okay, so that is a supervised, and in unsupervised you don't have any data and you need to make a prediction on that. Okay, that is a clustering. Okay, so in the regression, and the regression, if you see any questions with the regression, means any numeric value is there, then that is related to the regression type of questions. Okay, if there is any prediction between the true, false, or any yes or no answers are there. Okay, there is a 2 classifications are needed, then there that questions are in that use cases is under the classification machine learning. Okay, so it contains this classification model, and there is a clustering. Clustering means you are making a group of some few models. Okay, so that is a clustering model. Okay, you will see some questions related to that. Okay, so regression, classification, and clustering will be the option over there. You'll see some questions and you'll have some options. So you need to make a correct choice over there based on your knowledge. Like as I've told you, the tip for the regression is if it is a numeric, then it is definitely regression type of module. If it is a classification, then it is a yes and no, or any two types of classification in the module, that is a classification. Okay, and if it is a group of something, then it is a clustering. Okay, so that is what it contains. Okay, so automated machine learning has will just give a data, and it will give you automated this model for you. So that is the automated machine learning. So in the designer, it's basically a no code development. Okay, so in the designer, it's a tool. Okay, for creating a machine learning pipelines. You can create a training and inference pipeline, sorry, and then you can predict, you can make your model over there. So that is it. In the pipelines, it has some different types of pipelines you can create, and the compute also you can do over there. So this is all considered into the machine learning. Okay, you can go through more in detail. uh, okay, so make these notes that which I have told you now. Okay, so this is about the machine learning, and now we'll come to the anomaly detection. So what is the anomaly detection? So anomaly detection is actually stateless, and it actually detects error in the system. It's for finding the error in the system. So any questions regarding any errors to comes out, so that consider, or that is in consider as an anomaly detection. Okay, so for that type of artificial intelligence model, the anomaly detection principle has been used. Okay, so this is the anomaly detection, and there is computer vision. So in the computer vision, we have a certain different, all five types as well. So if you take like computer vision service, cognitive services, custom vision service, form recognizer, and face service. Okay, so we'll first take an example of computer vision service. So in the computer vision service, we have image classification, object detection, semantic segmentation, image analysis, face detection and analysis and recognition, optical character recognition, OCR. Okay, so here the image classification. So in the image classification, these all, if you see, these all six types are is actually based on the video or images you have, and based on that you need to detect any object, or detect, suppose you are detecting any car. Okay, the distance between some values, some objects. Okay, so these all the the questions under this image related detection will come into this computer vision service. Okay, so OCR will, what it will do, it will if there is any um, for example, on the road there is some board is written. Okay, so in the image you will see that board, and you need to remember, you need to read that particular text from the image. Okay, there the optical character recognition, this principle use. Okay, there is a face detection analysis, so you need to find out some people. Okay, face detection. Okay, some, which type of people are there, black, brown, and also what all they are wearing and all that. It is it wearing a glass or not? Some few things are considered into this. Tagging also. Okay, image analysis, semantic segmentation. Okay, and then object detection, like detection, like car is there, or some vehicle or something, or signal is there on the road, some object you are detecting, that is from the image, that is the object detection. And then image classification. So these are all the different examples or types of this computer vision service. Okay, so you need to just one tip for this is, it is related to the image. Okay, now going to the cognitive services. So AI, this Azure, okay, so Microsoft Azure has their own some cognitive services that which you can use and give the results. Okay, for any images, text or something, there are some predefined cognitive services available. You can use that and you know, use that in your application. Okay, so that is your cognitive. You can also create your own as well. Okay, so there is a custom vision service. So in the custom vision, like for the object detection and classification, you can use this service. You can create your own model. Okay, like you need to give your training the models, like image classification, object detection, and that you can give. There is one example is given on the this Azure is like apple, banana and oranges. Okay, you can remember this example for this custom agent service. Okay, and then this is a form recognizer. So the form recognizer is basically for the receipt or something you need to read it. Okay, for that this is used form recognizer. You need to remember for this is receipt. Okay, receipt some documents you need to just read it. Okay, so that is it. And maximum upload size for this is the 50 MB. And the face service, for the face service attributes like makeup detection, emotions, and it's also you can, there are some attributes like a face emotions or something, you can, it will have this face service. Okay, and also it has a maximum upload size of a 6 MB. Okay, so this is what about the computer vision. Now we'll come to the natural language processing. Okay, so in the natural language processing, you have text analysis, speech, translator, and the natural this language understanding. Okay, which is also called Lewis. Okay. Okay, so in the text analytics, you have a language detection, which language that has. Then sentiment analysis, what is the sentiment like? Uh, there are some attributes for that like positive, negative, neutral, that you need to uh, find out by this analysis. Okay, there are key phrase extraction. So if you have any image or something, then you need to the text. Okay, so from that it will just key or phrase from that text it will extract. Okay, so that is a key phrase extraction service. And this is the entity recognition. So what will be the entity from that particular text is getting recognized by this entity recognition. Okay, so this is related to the text analysis. Okay, now this is the speech. So now in the speech you will see there are two types, like the speech to text and text to speech. So in the speech to text, real-time transcript is also available, and batch transcript also available. Like speech to text, you will see the news or something, real-time transcript is there, right? And then text to speech, the speech synthesis voices are also available. Okay, so this is related to the speech service. So you need to remember these are the different types, and it has these also. Okay, now we'll move to the translator. So translator, it translates almost 60 plus languages. Okay, text to text translation is there. So in any different languages you can translate your text. Okay, so for that this translator service is used. And then language understanding. So in the language understanding, you need to do like creating the intents, creating the entities and utterance, and then training your model. So there are different, there is one example, I think it is given like turning off the lights. Okay, in the room or something. So you need to find out what is the intent, what is the entity and utterance, and then training your model. So based on that you can predict. Okay, predicting and authoring the language understanding. Okay, and this is about the natural language processing. And then conversational AI. So conversational AI has a two different types, like a Q&A maker and Azure bot service. So in the Q&A maker, we can you need to create your knowledge base, and then you can create your Q&A maker for any customer. So it is basically for reducing the customer interaction efforts. Okay, so there will be a one person instead of having a real person available. So basic questions or some scenarios you can already cover up. You can make your document for the Q&A maker and then upload it for your website or for the healthcare, for any other tool. Okay, and that deploy, and it will also help the for customer service improvement. Okay, so this is all about the AI workload. So you need to remember these all the few workloads it has. Okay, so even if this whole diagram, if you remember properly, you will definitely clear the exam. There is a one part is remaining, which is responsible AI and what are the risks with the AI. Okay, so we'll cover that. Okay, so first is the challenges and risks with the AI. So there are some challenges also we have in the artificial intelligence. Okay, as like bias can affect the results. Okay, so for example, it is given the loan approval model discriminates by gender due to bias in the data with which it was trained. Okay, so bias can also affect the result. Okay, so that is also one challenge. Errors may cause harm. An autonomous vehicle experiences a system failure and causes a collision. Okay, so this is also one very big risk that it can cause a very high for system failure. Okay, so this is also very challenging risk with the AI. Then there is a data could be exposed. Okay, and then there should be a solutions may not work for everyone. So solutions, see, if you just cover up this, okay, solutions may not work for everyone. Users must trust a complex system, okay, who is liable for AI driven decisions. Like an innocent person is convicted of a crime based on evidence from a facial recognition. Who is responsible? Okay, so for this responsibility, there are some principles. Okay, so these are some principles. Okay, so who is responsible for that risk? Okay, which I was telling you, if there are some crime, okay, because of the facial recognition service, it is saying that this person has done something. So who is responsible? The last end user will be the accountability principle of responsible AI. So as there is a challenge with that, okay, AI, so we have this principle accountability. So there in this scenario, okay, if you take earlier scenario, so whenever there is such type of risk, then accountability is the principle is used. So there are some people also in the court or something which will be a responsible, which will be accountable for the final decision of your, that person has committed that crime or not. So this is the principle is used for that. Okay, this accountability. Okay, there is a transparency. Okay, so in the earlier we have seen users must trust a complex system. Okay, that was the challenge. Okay, so for trusting a complex system, you need to have a transparency. Okay, with the user, that this is what we are doing and this is which is needed. So this is, we need to remember that transparency is the principle invented just to reduce that risk with the AI. Okay, there is also risk like solutions may not work for everyone. Okay, there was a risk of solutions may not work for everyone. If the are not working for everyone, then there is an inclusiveness principle, which will tell you that there are some things that some few more parameters that we need to consider to take a final decisions. Okay, so this is the inclusiveness principle. And there is a one more risk with this AI is data could be exposed. Okay, that we have seen in the earlier slide, the data could be exposed. So that challenge is also handled by this principle. So privacy and security. So with the privacy and security, we can we can handle that, which is the very sensitive data could not be exposed to the other world. Okay, so this principles will handle that. Okay, and there is a second, the second principle is reliability and safety. So as we have seen in one example, that error may can occur at any time. Okay, and which can hamper the system, which can fail the system. Okay, so for that, the safety and reliability principle has introduced. Okay, so this is the reliability principle where the error can occur that may harm. So there you can consider this principle. Okay, and take a final decision. And there's a fairness that we have seen a one example that for the loan we have a gender biases. Okay, there is a bias can affect the results. Okay, so biases can affect results at any point in time in any conditions. Okay, so if you see any questions related to bias, okay, there this is the principle will tell you that there should be a fair decision for your final AI. Okay, for your final result. So this is a fairness principle which will tell you about biases can affect the results, which will that that challenges will get removed by this fairness principle. Okay, so this is it. This is all about the responsible AI and all different key points that we have discussed. Okay, you can go to this particular website. Okay, and you can go through a different sections and get all the detailed knowledge about it. So you can definitely definitely clear the exam. So all the best for your exam. You just make a note of this workload diagram and just responsible AI. What are the challenges and how we are reducing it with the responsible AI principles. So if you make this, you are definitely going to pass this exam with a good score. All the best. Thank you. Thank you.